Oh, that's right. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I can hear myself. I can hear the radio. I think I must be live on the radio, live on Facebook. How you doing this morning? Hey, I am good. Why aren't you great? I've been pushing the envelope a little bit this last couple of 3 weeks, in case you didn't know, and I'm not sleeping much. But I am here, and I am alive, and it is the weekend upon us. Woo! It is the last weekend before Christmas, so this, of course, will be the final push for everything that is happening. Oh, my goodness, it just goes on and on. And then this year will be over, and then we'll be starting all over again. That's depressing. That's depressing. Let's not even think about it. We will have made it through 2025. Gosh, it seems like just yesterday we're saying we can just get through 24. Then we've had this whirlwind year with President Donald Trump as president of these United States. Woo! It's been a wild, wild ride. I tell you what, though, there are some very happy military people out there. I happen to know a couple of them who said, yes, Ann, it says the check is here. It's pending. The funds will be released. How about that? So pretty darn exciting for our military. Certainly a Christmas surprise. So that's on the good news side, Ann. What else you got? Well, I don't know what I've got. I've been trying to just kind of look around for the good stuff here. I will tell you, although I don't believe I ever met this gentleman, I do realize that, I did want to mention that they have established for the Reverend Harrison Ministries was dedicated Sunday during a service at Morris Chapel Baptist Church. And it's for all the good things that her husband was established by his wife, did in our community and to continue doing those things. So I just wanted to give a shout out to that. I think anytime anybody can set up something that will live on in perpetuity to help people is really huge. Harrison was a pastor for 34 years with Macedonia Baptist Church. He was one of the originators of the Greenwood area Martin Luther King Jr. Mass Choir. He was the first black city council member in Greenwood and the first black person to graduate from Erskine Divinity School. He taught math at Brewer High School when it was segregated. After integration, he taught at the junior high level and served as an administrator. So that is pretty cool just right there, the timing of his life. You know, one of the things I always enjoy looking back over and seeing how people affected and how they're being born in the life that they were born into, the years that they lived, that it just, they brought a lot to the table. And part of the reason they could bring a lot to the table was because of what was happening today, what was happening in history. So I always find that most interesting about a person's life, to see how they were living in that time period and how they were affected and what they were able to do living in that time. So I just wanted to do a little shout out this morning for Miss Harrison, who has established it. Reverend Harrison Ministries. She has worked on programs and workshops since his death in 2020. Popularity of the programs prompted her to create the ministry, which will offer biblically grounded, spiritually led teachings, workshops, and sessions, which with aim to support growth workshops, leadership, and team building training. The goal is to promote excellence. I love that. The ministry's first activities are a Black History Month event scheduled for Saturday, February 28th at Morris Chapel Baptist Church, and a women's retreat scheduled for October 29th through the 31st in Black Mountain, North Carolina. So I think that it is so cool to remember and to establish something in somebody's honor, and something hopefully that will live on in perpetuity and will help others with their struggles. Willie inspired others to be as successful as possible, Floyd Nicholson said. He was an excellent teacher. Nicholson, of course, was a former student of Willie's, recalled that the first day in his classroom, he told students if they could solve a math problem, they would get an A and wouldn't have to attend class. Nicholson said the problem involved a farmer who had 28 cows and 7 days to kill them, but the farmer could only kill an odd number of cows each day. Nicholson said he still hasn't figured it out. I guess he had to take the class then. Ann Parks and Betty Bowles recorded talking with Willie when they were considering running for seats on the Greenwood City Council. Parks said as Willie was the first African American to serve on the council, she felt she had to get his permission. She and Bowles said they talked with Harrison when they faced difficulties. Sometimes his advice wasn't exactly subtle. I love it. He said exactly what needed to say, and if you didn't like it, oh well, Parks said. He would push you when you started to fail and fall, said another person. He might not give the answers you wanted, but he would help. He could lift you up, he walked tall, and he was willing to carry anybody. That is so neat. A lot of times people need a little bit of love and encouragement, said his wife. It can go a long way. So there you go. I just wanted to shed some light on that and say well done and congratulations, and what a way to honor somebody who helped not only the community but helped their parishioners and people that sought him out for advice. I think that's terrific. So, what else is going on in the world? Well, let's see. Now we can get into all kinds of stuff out there. The man that was the shooter at Brown University, I guess it is, was found in a storage locker. Evidently, he shot himself in a storage locker. He also, they believe, I'm not sure they have said that this is 100%, but they also say he was the shooter for the man at MIT. So, looks like they got a double shot. One of the stories that I thought was most interesting out there and kind of bothersome from some standpoint, shootings at Brown University and MIT cracked by homeless hero, now entitled to $50,000 reward. Last night I was watching one of the newscasts on this, and they were talking about this witness, he was spot on and blah, 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 and if it wasn't for him, they wouldn't crack the case. And then somebody said, if he gets the $50,000, and I'm like, excuse me, you've just said live on the air that this man is the reason you were able to crack the case, and yet you say if he gets the $50,000. I'm not sure what that is all about, or why that would even be a question. It says a homeless hero has been credited with cracking the shootings at Brown University and MIT wide open after he confronted the government. As the feds say, he is now entitled to the staggering $50,000 reward. The tipster, known only as John, this is from the New York Post, was the key to police eventually identifying Claudio Nerve Valente as the suspect after he offered up key information on the 48-year-old perp's car following an odd encounter with him on the day of the shooting. He blew the case right open, Rhode Island Attorney General said, and he praised the tipster. So why would there be any question about him getting the money? I mean, after all, this case would have gone cold, I'm pretty sure, if they hadn't had somebody that was an eyewitness about this. So that was kind of bothersome to me, that there would even be a question if he gets it. And that was exactly what was said, because I was like, what? Anyways, Until John's tip came through, it says investigators had been scrambling to ID the gunman who killed the Brown students and then gunned down a MIT Institute of Technology professor just 2 days later. So there you go. That's a pretty cool story. It would be logical to think that absolutely the individual would be entitled to that, Doc said when he asked about the possibility. John's tip first came to light when he started posting on Reddit that he recognized the images of the perp that had been blasted out by authorities in the wake of Saturday's bloodshed. Wow. I'm being dead serious, the Reddit post said, according to court documents. The police need to look into a gray Nissan with Florida plates, possibly a rental. I know because he used his key fob to open the car, approached it, and then something prompted him to back away, he said. So, pretty unbelievable. I also know that I read, or it was on the news, one or the other, that this was obviously, he changed the plates. What did he rent a car and then he changed the plates? And part of the problem they were having is that he did change the plates. So anyways, this case has been solved. Let's hope it's been solved, right? Let's hope it's been solved. And, they say it's been solved. I'm just saying, when things like this happen, would have been nice. I know they wanted to take him alive, and of course, he didn't want to. There is such a short window there when somebody is looking at being taken into custody or doing themselves in, shall we say, or going out in a blaze of glory. I guess you could have a shootout or something. But I always wonder, I always think about, what makes somebody decide, I'm not going in, they'll never take me? Is there a special, I know, this is kind of a bizarre. Is there a special song or something that says, like, they're never going to take me, I've got one more silver dollar? Yeah, okay. Anyways, you just kind of wonder when somebody's mind, what makes them decide that, I'm just going to kill myself and let y'all have to find me dead? I know that's a little bizarro comment, but don't you ever think about those things? Why do some people get taken into custody? Do they want the long-term notoriety, or do they not realize the direction they're going anyways? I'm just saying. It's a topic of conversation. Well, not a good one, Ann. I agree. All right. Well, anyways, let's move on this morning. We got lots of stuff to talk about. Hey, before I forget it, let me tell you this. There was, I think, a little bit confusion. I think there was a little bit confusion about picking up for those that were getting Toys for Tots. It was at the Veterans Center yesterday afternoon if you were in Greenwood. So they have, I don't know what the final count, but when I was over there in the afternoon, they were concerned about everybody being able to pick up their bags, their Toys for Tots. So what they have done is said that those bags are being transferred to Abbeville and may be picked up on Saturday. So if you were one of the people that was supposed to get some toys from Toys for Tots and you did not make it by the Veterans Center yesterday afternoon, you do have to, you can go to, let me get that for you, let's see, if you missed the Toys for Tots pickup yesterday, final pickup is this Saturday, December 20th from 10 to 3 p.m. at the American Legion Post 2, which is at 208 Long Branch Road in Abbeville. So, again, if you were one of the people that did not pick up your bag of toys from Toys for Tots, now this is something you had to sign up for. So if you have not signed up for it, if you don't have a confirmation number, there is no need to try to get anything because they only have for this group. But if you missed the Toys for Tots pickup today, final pickup is Saturday, December 20th from 10 to 3 p.m. at the American Legion Post 2, that is in Abbeville, 208 Long Branch Road, Abbeville, South Carolina. Now, you should have gotten if you are in that group, you should have gotten a message from Toys for Tots, but that's where the pickup is on Saturday. This is for people that had a confirmation. Just wanted to get that out there. Also, want to talk about... I'm going to flip back and forth here this morning, but we also want to talk about snowflakes for seniors. Snowflakes for seniors. Yesterday afternoon, I went by and saw Claudia over there in it wasn't pouring rain, the misting rain that was going on all day yesterday. I went by there and saw over 1,300 bags, shopping bags, filled with gifts for seniors. I posted a video. She really, on my Facebook page, the Ann Eller page. She really needs some help getting all these bags organized because they're all by number. Then they have to be grouped by if it's a nursing home, if it's an individual. Anyways, she could use some help during that. I think she could use some help delivering. And they still had a few seniors to finish up on. And so yesterday, Diane and I took a donation over there to them. Gloves, mini flashlights, word books, all those type of things that just snacks, nabs, cookies, all that kind of stuff really makes a senior feel special. So if you have any time between today and Saturday to go over there and help out, she surely would appreciate that help. Number 3 on my mission for yesterday was to go by the museum and see the gingerbread houses. Now, they do. After seeing the gingerbread houses up there in Asheville at the Grove Park Inn, they are not to the specifications there, but they are great. By the way, most people don't know that they actually, at the Grove Park Inn, they actually have a youth division. They also had some schools that were competing in that. But somebody had said, aren't these all professional? And actually not. But they could have been professional because some of these kids were phenomenal in their baking of gingerbread items. But I also posted a video on my page about the gingerbread houses up there in Asheville, and we'll be posting today. I have a video to post to tempt you to go down to the Greenwood Museum and vote the People's Choice. But they are great, what we have here in Greenwood. I am very surprised at some of the kids that, the youth groups, I guess I should say, instead of the kids, the youth groups who had turned in theirs. There was some very thoughtful and very creative ones, and they would love for you to make the decision for the People's Choice Award, what you would like to see win. It'd take you about, 10 or 15 minutes maybe, if you're thoughtful about it, to go through and pick out the winners. There are 2 professional ones, which is really hard to make the choice. 2 professional ones in it that are just unbelievable. So please go by and vote today. Vote. You can vote today, 10 to 5. You can also vote Saturday morning from 10 to 11. They will be announcing the winners and they're going to be announcing it live right here on WCRS Radio. So that's kind of exciting. So I'm looking forward to I was actually one of the judges for the different categories. I don't know, but I liked them, and I love gingerbread houses. And here's the other thing: when you walk in the museum, the wafting of gingerbread just covers your senses. It's absolutely delightful. So go by and see these creations. Go see the art that was done. There was one youth baker one, I think it was, that had a light in it that the light was shining through, showing Santa's workshop. So it was kind of opaque, but it did have some color coming through it. Very creative. One of the professional bakers had made a merry-go-round and had the reindeer on. It was terrific. So I challenge each and every one of you to go by and see those. Take the kids, let them have some joy. And what I want to see is next year and the year after and the year after, see gingerbread houses become a big part of our Christmas celebration right here in Greenwood. So much fun to see this taking shape. This is the first year, and looking forward to seeing this grow. So go by, be part of the process, and while you're there, check out the beautiful Christmas displays and everything else going on at the museum. So we'll be posting a video after I get off the show of Karen talking about the gingerbread houses. Karen Jennings, the executive director there at the Greenwood Museum. So, wow. These are the things that make a community special, I think. These are the things that make a community special. So, let's keep going. What else is happening in the world? I just wanted to get those out in case somebody had to leave. I wanted to make sure that you knew about those. Now, here's an interesting story. Mondani up there in New York City, who is the son of the filmmaker, blah, 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 has long claimed he didn't even know the apartment was rent stabilized when he first moved in before he was elected to the state assembly in 2020. Yeah. So anyways, his campaign, let's see, what was I going to... Yeah, okay, all right. Let's see. I wanted to see, there was an article about somebody in his, I don't know what happened to it. I thought I had it here, who was supposed to be taking a position, but because of some of the things she said, oops, she can't be in that position anymore. That's what I thought I had pulled up, but I don't know. Where is it? What happened to it? Anyways. All right. Well, I guess I don't have it. Well, moving on. Maybe I do. Maybe I just got to find another tab here. Today is, for some, your Christmas reading. For those of you that are so excited to see all the files being released, the DOJ, Department of Justice, is going to be releasing thousands of pages of the Epstein files. So if you are looking forward to some good Christmas reading, I guess you can check that out. Not me, not personally. I don't give a crap about it. But it is something that a lot of people are very excited to see. Also, it looks like Ukrainian drones blow up a Russian oil tanker in unprecedented special operation. How about that? So, you got to give Ukraine credit. I mean, they're trying to get to the peace table. I know they are. And they haven't been able really to get Russia. And Ukraine says that they don't even believe that that Putin wants to come to the table. So, dramatic video released Friday shows a Russian oil tanker being blown up by Ukrainian drones in an unprecedented special operation in neutral waters in the Mediterranean Sea. The footage of the attack shows the Shadow Fleet tanker being obliterated more than 1,200 miles from Ukraine, said the Security Service of Ukraine. The out-of-the-area operation marks the first time Kyiv has struck in neutral waters, according to officials. Until now, Ukrainian service has claimed responsibility for drone attacks in the Black Sea. So, how about that? Ukraine insisted the strike posed no threat to the environment, claiming the vessel wasn't carrying cargo at the time. You know what is amazing to me? That we have the technology, the world, has the technology to tell all these things. They can tell how many people are on the ship. They can tell what the ship is carrying. You know, transparency in war, that's a pretty big thing. If you're doing something, they're going to find you. And I think one of the things that the Brown University showed up, how much they were at a disadvantage. Oh, nose itches. How much they were at a disadvantage at Brown University because they didn't have the cameras, and what a difference cameras do make. So, but the ability to be able to tell the things that they tell, I think, is just phenomenal. All right, well, let's see what else we have here. Let's close that tab out. We've got some other things to talk about. Got something you want to weigh in on this morning? 864-332-9355. 864-332-9355. There is... It's Christmas time. It's the last week before Christmas, and my computer is running really slow. I think I'm going to have to shut it down, and that's a scary thing when I shut down the computer. I get things. Do you ever do this? I get things in certain orders because I like to have the Facebook one here, then I like to have this, and then this one because it's easy to go back and forth from one to the other. Then I've got my two phones here, so that I have information there. All right. Oh, what else did I wanted to say? 864-332-9355. I need to say a big shout out to a donor that helped us with two bikes. We had a need for two bicycles, boys' bicycles, up there in Ware Shoals as part of our Have a Heart for the Holidays, Be the Heart of the Holidays toy drive. And we were gifted two boys' bikes, and Elf Diane put them together yesterday afternoon, and they'll be picked up this morning. I tell you what, we are blessed to have such great partners working with us to help us out. So just wanted to do a shout out and say thank you very, very much. Thank you very much. It was a nice gift to be able to provide that. And I know District 51 has been excited for the help that they have received this year and have been very, very gracious to let people know what was done. And actually, I think that is very cool. So, what else do we have? I was trying to get my news up here. Where's my news? If I can't get it, we'll go over here and get it. That's the beauty of having multiple sources here, but it also can be confusing. That's right, it can be confusing. You know, the thing about it is, it's the last day of school for many. Some have been on half days, but all these pajama parties makes me kind of jealous. You know, they have all these cool pajamas, right? So I decided I was going to get some Christmas pajamas for Penny and me. Well, they finally arrived. They may be debuted next year, though, because it's almost Christmas. But anyways, I got some cool pajamas. Penny's got some cool pajamas. And we're matchy-patchy. So how about that? How about that? I think that's kind of fun. I used to look at that stuff and go, oh, that is so stupid. Dressing your dog up with light Christmas pajamas. But you have to buy the right size for the dog, the right size for you. If you've got a whole family, it's very, very complicated. So there you go. Anyways, I thought I would just share that. I would just share that. Christmas is a special time of the year, but it's also a tough time of the year for a lot of people. I hope that we will remember somebody that might be having a tough time, because sometimes we think that, they're okay. It's been X amount of years. They're okay. I think we always think of the people who just lost somebody. And of course, those are the ones that should be supported and lifted up and everything. But for some people, the hurt never goes away. And I just wanted to mention that if you know somebody that's having a tough time, that they've seemed a little down or something, maybe cut them a little slack and say, I understand, and try to lift them up. Whether it's having a cup of coffee and a cookie, whether it's going out to lunch, or whether it's just being there for a little conversation. One of the things I think today that we highly underrate is conversation. Sitting there and being a good listener. Sometimes that's what a person needs more than anything else, is somebody that just listens. So, just FYI, thought I would say that this morning. Oh, what do we go? And for today's quote, it is quite a lovely one. To be seen in this life, truly observed without judgment, is what it feels like to be loved. And interesting, that was said by Cicely Tyson, Just As I Am. I think that was a book she wrote, Just As I Am. So, to be seen in this life, truly observed without judgment, is what it feels like to be loved. And I think that is such a good comment, a good quote. Because so many times we judge. I mean, I'm as guilty as anybody else. I judge people. Isn't that part of the fun? Judging somebody, well, what is she doing that for? Yes, it is. But anyways, to be loved, to be seen in this life, truly observed without judgment, is what it feels like to be loved. And that is so true. And very few people in this world are not judged. Even if they're having an off day. Yes, even if they're having an off day. All right. Well, I am Ann Eller here with you this morning. Let's see. I better check my horoscope. Oh, my God. I keep getting these things that are telling me I'm supposed to be doing something else. It's kind of frightening. I'm going to quit reading my horoscope, folks. Well, which one is it, Ann? I can't tell you. Anyways. I had a lot more serious stuff to talk about, but I haven't talked about it here this morning. I know you're going to be out doing good things during this weekend, and we have to make sure that all of the things that need to be done get done this weekend, and I did want to make sure that you know about some of the things that are going on. Oh, yes. Now, this is a good one. They're going to Daughters of the American Revolution. Want everybody to come to a tea party. Do you know that the first tea party was in Charleston, South Carolina? That where they were throwing the tea over, and we always talk about the Boston Tea Party and everything. Well, they didn't throw the tea over down here in South Carolina. No, they were a lot smarter than Boston. They actually hid the tea. They took the tea and hid the tea. Whereas in Boston, they were kind of stupid. They threw the tea overboard. Instead, down here in Charleston, they made sure that they kept the tea and still took it. Now, I'm going to tell you what, that makes a lot more sense, doesn't it? So, who's smarter? Who is smarter? We always get the Boston Tea Party always gets the credit as the first tea party. But in truth, it was right here in South Carolina, down there in Charleston. So let's see, where is it here? November. Yes, okay. But I think that is just too cool. So if you think that the tea party is going to be Saturday, January 24th, a January tea is the perfect way for the Issaquena chapter to open the America 250 commemoration. It reminds us that patriotism begins in fellowship, in shared stories, and honoring the legacy of those who shaped our nation. So, to mark this, they are going to have a tea party, which is pretty darn cool, and to celebrate the first tea party. And it's actually not been, in the last maybe 3 or 4 years, that this has actually become a thing to have a South Carolina, a tea party. You know, I think South Carolina is totally underrated as far as its involvement in the number of battles. What do they say? The number of battles for South Carolina compared to other states, I think we were number one. I mean, we fought hard to become independent, which is why sometimes the word has been said, do we want to secede from the nation? We know how to do this. I'm just teasing. You know, South Carolina, what was it? Representative Pitts, he wanted to have our own coin, our own gold coin. So there are so many interesting tidbits. And after the first of the year, we're going to start doing a little history lesson every day right here on WCRS. Well, I don't know if we'll do it every day, but we'll do it a couple times a week, talking about some of the battles, talking about some of the things that happened in South Carolina. We need to be proud. I'm still not sure, though. I understand. They say that we are 7th in the nation for people exiting South Carolina, but they're saying that we're also one of the top states for people moving into South Carolina. It's an interesting, I think, dichotomy. I say it's fine if you come, as long as you like what we're doing here and you can go along. If you kept planning to come down here and rock the boat, we're not too happy you're coming. So that's one of the things I wanted to say. Oh, by the way, this is, I think, when Edith Childs was on the air with us, she talked about they had paid off their mortgage on Little River, but they're actually going to have a mortgage burning banquet at the Little River Missionary Baptist Association, located on Riley Road, on December 17th at 4 p.m. That is pretty darn cool. So I just wanted to mention that. That is coming up on the 27th. So as we get ready to finish up here, I think that we should take a minute to remember those that are no longer with us, to remember the impact that they may have had on your life, and try to keep their memory alive. They say on the wreaths across America that somebody is never gone as long as they are remembered, which is why once a year they have the wreaths across America, and part of the ceremony is saying the veteran's name and then placing the wreath so that they will never be forgotten. I think that is actually a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I hope that you will remember somebody at Christmas time that is gone from your life, but maybe somebody, if you say their name, they won't really be gone. You know how I feel about Jeff. Jeff Eller. He is the antique vintager. He is the political pundit. And probably most people know him as the telephone man. And I love doing my Saturday morning show where we do classic country and blues music. But I do miss Jeff as telephone man. I also miss Tony Spearman because Tony was always trying to do something fun and different on the radio. And she always inspired me to take it to the next level. And she would have loved to have seen what we're doing with Facebook Live and some of the other things that are happening right here on WCRS. So I want to do a big shout out to Tony Spearman. There are so many people. But you can keep their memory alive by saying their name and spending a little time thinking about them. Who else do we need to think about, Ann? Gracie! Poor Penny. I was talking about Penny, but I was calling her Gracie the other day. Have you ever done that? Oh my God, how embarrassing. And I was talking to somebody and they go, and her name is Penny. I was like, really? Anyways, they affect us, all our pets. They affect us in so many ways. And actually, I don't even like to look at some of the memories because you see these great pictures on Facebook, when your memories come up and you see these pictures and you just go, oh. So, what do I have to say? Remember those who made your life rich. Remember those. Maybe even remember those who didn't make your life rich, but were part of your life because they are important to us to remember. And as long as we speak their names, they will be with us forever. So, Penny's going, I don't know who that Gracie girl is, but I'm the chief one right now, so quit talking about anybody else. There you go. That's Gracie's comment this morning. Just have a couple of things here, and I'm going to be done here this morning. There is an annual toy and coat drive giveaway on this Saturday. It is the annual Christmas Toy and Coat Drive hosted by Edith Childs and Making a Difference Community Ministries. Will be at 10 a.m. on December 20th, 2025 at United Way in front of the Soup Kitchen entrance. The Soup Kitchen will also be serving lunch at 11 a.m. Any and all donations and volunteering is accepted. Contact Edith Childs, 864-980-6042 for questions. So that is at the Soup Kitchen, right in front of the Soup Kitchen on tomorrow, Saturday. That is an excellent event going on. Don't forget to go by the museum. I'd like to see everybody voting on all the cool gingerbread houses that we have. They'll give you a card and you can just go through and click the number that you like. So that's pretty fun. Tomorrow on WCRS, we will be announcing live on the air the winners of the gingerbread houses competition. You can go anytime today between 10 and 5 to vote, and you can go tomorrow morning from 10 to 11. But then they've got to tally the votes, and at 12 o'clock they will be announcing it. I have already cast my vote for as one of the judges, and you can vote in the People's Choice Awards, so please make sure you do that. Plus, see all the cool exhibits that are already at the museum. Around the areas, there are all kinds of activities going on, cookie crawls, all this kind of stuff. If you've got anything you'd like me to announce tomorrow morning, let me know, 864-332-9355. That is our new text and voice line. One of the reasons I like this so much is what? Well, you can leave a voice message and not have to text it out. And so if you're a little challenged or you want to get involved with us real quick, that is a great way to just be able to pick up that phone, dial the number 864-332-9355. And when you do that, it'll take your telephone message, convert it to a text, and I get to see it right away. So please see about doing that. Somebody just had made a comment here. She says, I think sending a card is a lost art of love. There is something special about opening up your mail and getting a card that makes someone feel special. I agree with that. I totally agree with that. Somebody else said, someone once told me when we lose someone that we truly love, we have the responsibility to live our life to the fullest in honor of them. Well, that's really nice. That is really, really nice. And there are a lot of people. Every life is special, but there are some of the people, sometimes their stars were a little bit brighter, maybe because of the way they were raised, maybe because of the influence they brought to people. But all people are special. Everybody deserves to be remembered. And I hope that you will help some of the people that are having a tough time during the holidays by maybe being a little thinking of them. Sending a card truly is a wonderful, wonderful thing to do. I love opening cards just as much as the next person. But my God, when you look at how much it costs to send a card, yeah. But you know what? It's not the same. It's not the same. When you get an email with a card on it, it's great. It's great. But it's not the same as getting a piece of mail and opening it up and seeing that envelope and everything, is it? There is just something special about it. But any way you contact somebody, email, okay. Card, great. But very best, picking up that phone and letting them hear your voice. I think that is what most people really like, is a telephone conversation with someone so that they can hear your voice. So, while there were a lot of topics to talk about, Trump has looks like is changing the classification of marijuana, supposedly for medical marijuana, but you have to wonder where that will actually go. And I think Congress is involved in that. The other issue that I didn't talk about this morning is what is happening in Venezuela. Will Congress have to get involved in that? Or are we at the act of war stage? President Trump says he's fully within his bounds, but there's a lot of question about that. And of course, there is the fact that our country is just so much strife. So what I would like to see in little old Greenwood, Ware Shoals, Abbeville, McCormick, 96, in our little part of the world, that we come together as we have for all these toy drives and all the things that have been happening. It's hard, it's dizzying to see how much involvement there is in our community in trying to help those that need the help. I think it is terrific, and I think it is something to be commended. So, to all of you, whether you have done something for a huge group, whether you've done something for a small group, whether you've taken cookies to the police and sheriff's department that really don't need it, but they appreciate it. Whatever you have done this holiday season, take a second and pat yourself on the back for doing good acts of kindness in our community. That's going to do it for me. Merry Christmas, everybody. We'll be doing our last Christmas show of the season tomorrow morning. We'll also be announcing live on the air that who the winner of the gingerbread houses are. And I do want to remind you of one other thing. Let's see. If you were getting toys for tots and you were supposed to pick them up yesterday, if you're here in Greenwood, if you missed your pickup time, excuse me, for Toys for Tots pickup today. Final pickup is Saturday, December 20th, 10 to 3 at the American Legion. So if you missed it yesterday at the Veterans Center, you can pick up they are transported all the bags to Abbeville, and your other opportunity to pick up will be tomorrow, Saturday, from 10 until 3 at the American Legion Post 2, 208 Long Branch Road in Abbeville, South Carolina. So please make sure that you make it by there. So there you go. I also want to say kudos to a great concert last night at the Greenwood Community Theater. Great fundraiser. I was not able to go, but I still wanted to say a big shout out about it, because that's another great event where musical artists in this case, come together and help raise funds for the Greenwood Community Theater. So lots of good things happening in our community. Of course, I'm the watchdog, and I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to talk more about it. I just didn't feel like talking about some of the yeah stuff today. So have a great weekend. Tune in tomorrow morning if you can. Go by and vote at the museum on the gingerbread houses. And if you can go by U-Haul and help poor Claudia as she's trying to organize all these bags, get all these bags out to the seniors. Over 1,300 seniors are getting a little extra love this year. And don't forget that Meals on Wheels did their gift bags for their people that are on their route. So lots of love happening in our community. And wouldn't it be great if it could only last all year? Merry Christmas, everybody. Have a great weekend. And that is going to do it for me. Bye-bye, everybody. I think I'm going to say bye-bye. Am I saying bye-bye? I'm saying bye-bye. How about this one?
Keep on sharing. The phones are open. Keep on laughing. Give us a call. You gotta keep on caring. As long as you've got a voice, don't ever stop. As long as you've got truth, don't ever stop. You're on the air. As long as you've got love. What's on your mind? Don't ever stop.